We will finish it maybe in this week with big surprise. And then let's see the result about this fight and the result of the...
Really disrespectful, and they're always going to try to set up big fights, the same as Wilder and AJ.
Parker shuts it down. The second Alexander Usyk stepped back into the picture. Parker wasted no time. He went straight to Turkey Usyk and demanded the fight the fans have been craving. Forget Wardley, bring me Usyk. Wardley was just standing in the wrong spotlight. This sport is about the best fighting the best, and now we might finally get that.
I said before, and this is my opinion, I don't start to talking about these things. He started and he said he respects me, but he doesn't like what we are doing in boxing. That's why I said what I said. And
That's the mindset of a man who's ready for greatness. Parker isn't talking for hype, he's speaking from growth. He's been through wars, rebuilt his style, and now he's ready to test it against the best technician on the planet. No fear, just focus.
Now, given that you are such an admirer of his, and you appreciate the skill, because you're an appreciator of skill, what makes you think that you've got the toolkit to dethrone him?
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that.
And even Usyk himself couldn't hide the respect he's got for Parker's rise. You can hear it, that genuine tone from Usyk. He respects Parker not just as a fighter, but as a man who's earned his way back to the top. There's no fake talk here, just mutual respect between two world-class boxers who know what real work feels like.
Respect is a great man, Joseph Parker, like kind of, and a great smile, man, very good.
Even through the uncertainty, Parker's focus never wavers. While others panic or point fingers, Joe stays locked in, ready for whoever steps up. That's the difference between contenders and professionals. Fabio might have folded under this pressure, but Parker's waiting calmly, sharpening his tools, and making sure when the bell rings, he's the storm, not the target.
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussions. Like Frank says, he's been assessed by a doctor at the moment, so we are just trying to find out whether it's good or bad news, but whatever it's going to be, Joe's there.
Bello's right. Parker's biggest fight right now isn't in the ring. It's with time. The man's built for momentum, and every pause feels like punishment. But that hunger to stay active, to keep proving himself, is what separates him from someone like Wardley. Fabio's still chasing relevance. Parker's fighting to reclaim legacy.
Fighters, Joseph Parker is struggling from inactivity at the moment because he's been so used to fighting back to back to back.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
not his own fault by any means.
No, it's not a disturbance in the Bacoli fight that he was all going ahead, and you know, Bacoli jumps in. Sorry, you know, all of the disturbance of the Dubois fight.
That's right.
It's just he's in a rock and a hard place, Joseph Parker, because he knows the shot's coming, but he also wants to stay busy and active.
Yeah.
And Bello's point sets up perfectly for what came next, his take on Usyk's evolution. Usyk isn't just winning fights, he's mastering them. Every pound, every adjustment, every movement is by design. That's what makes him elite, and the only fighter who's earned the right to test that genius again, Joseph Parker. Both men think, adapt, and evolve mid-fight. Fabio Wardley, by contrast, still looks like he's learning the basics of survival.
There's no one who's going to beat him. I just think technically, physically now, he's at the weight and he's adapted and he's adjusted. I mean, he's even adjusted and adapted his weight for this fight individually. I mean, he put on how much weight and slowed his actual feet down because Daniel Dubois.
Eddie's words carry weight. Parker's on a tear. Beating Wilder and Zhang wasn't luck, it was strategy and heart. While other heavyweights cherry-pick safe fights, Joe dives headfirst into danger and comes out smiling. That's why the fans back him. Wardley, he's been gifted headlines, not earned them. Parker's the real definition of heavyweight grit.
I think it's a great fight. I mean, firstly, Joe Parker is on an incredible run.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beaten Wilder when no one really wanted to fight him. He's beaten Zhang when he was like the bogeyman, and he's just beaten Bacoli, although, you know, on short notice. I mean, that was a dangerous fight to take. So I love Joe. I think he deserves an opportunity. Joe against Dubois, Joe against Usyk, Joe against AJ. They're all great fights. I think
it's true. Parker's been patient far too long. When you've proven your worth against killers like Wilder and Zhang and still get frozen out, it burns. But now with Usyk returning, that freeze is thawing fast. This isn't about belts anymore. It's about respect, and Parker's coming to claim every ounce of it.
But yeah, I would feel frustrated. Joseph Parker seems to have been frozen out, you know, at a time when he should be getting his world title shot. He's worked to get that, you know, more so than any other heavyweight out there right now. Alexander Usyk is not just holding up the WBO title right now, but he's holding up the heavyweight division for all these fighters that we've been talking about on this show getting their shot. And these fighters may have to mix it with each other before getting their shot. And that's sort of unfair, really, because one of them's going to lose and he's going to have to climb the ladder again. You go like...
There's no frustration in Parker's tone, just purpose. Even when plans collapse, he doesn't sulk, he recalibrates. That's what makes him dangerous. Fabio Wardley would have crumbled under this chaos, but Parker turns it into motivation. The man's mentally dialed in, physically ready, and spiritually focused. You can feel it. A storm's brewing in silence.
Look elsewhere, Alexander Usyk. So, do you go along with that?
No, is it a financial thing, or is it a, you know, is it, I don't know. Do I present something different, or I mean, this Usyk's been there and done that with everyone, you know, and I back myself and I believe, like now, physically and mentally, I'm in the best place ever. And even I am very excited to see what I can do in the ring when I'm in the ring next. You know, it's not going to be with Usyk. Obviously, we're fighting someone else now, but I know what I can do in the ring.
Frank's nailed it there. Usyk's out dancing while the whole division's on hold, but if he's fit enough to move like that, he's fit enough to fight. And the man waiting, hungry, and fully ready is Joseph Parker. He's earned that shot through blood and consistency, not hype or headline. Wardley was never a threat, he was a placeholder. The world wants the real fight. Usyk versus Parker. Skill versus will. A true heavyweight chess match.
We had the negotiations, then the injury. That we wasted months on that, and that's given a little bit of inactivity.
Nelson's not exaggerating. Parker's combinations have become a nightmare to read. He's not just hitting harder, he's thinking faster. That blend of power and precision separates the top-tier boxers from punchers. Wardley? He wouldn't last long enough to study him. Against Usyk, though, it's a different game. A contest of timing, reflex, and IQ. Parker's evolved from raw muscle into tactical brilliance, and that's exactly why he's being mentioned alongside the elite again.
He's got at least 6-7 set combinations. He can fight. So he needs to control this beast. If he doesn't control it, don't be surprised if you get an upset Saturday night. Don't be surprised.
Do you think Parker has the power or the speed and combination?
I think he's got the speed and combination.
There's no bitterness in Parker's words, just class. He praises Usyk like a true sportsman, but still makes it clear he's ready whenever Usyk is. That calm tone hides a storm of ambition. Parker's been patient, professional, and consistent, everything Wardley hasn't. While others chase social media hype, Parker's chasing legacy. It's hard, yes, but it's harder to stay disciplined when you know you deserve that crown shot. Parker's proving why he's built different.
Obviously, Usyk is the one that we want to fight. He is the best in the world, holds all the belts. It would have been awesome to, you know, unification, undisputed. But he's injured and he's spending time with his family. And, you know, there are videos of him dancing, but he's just having a good time. Having a good time with his family and having a good time on his time off.
Look, it's extremely hard.
And when he reminded the world who he truly is, the message hit loud and clear. That's a fighter speaking his truth. Parker's done being underestimated. He's not here to be compared to prospects or placeholders. He's carved his own lane. Every fight since Wilder has rebuilt his identity. He's not the same polite contender anymore. He's a seasoned killer with purpose. Against Usyk, it's brains versus brutality. Parker's calling it how it is. I'm a different beast. And the scary part, he's right. That confidence is earned, not borrowed.
Let's see if we can find a way with me. It's different. You know, I'm not Justice Huni, I'm not Fraser Clark, I'm me, Joseph Parker. A different fighter, a different beast altogether.
Nelson's words carry weight, literally. Parker's transformation isn't reckless bulking, it's calculated conditioning. He's stronger, sharper, and more technically refined than ever before. That combination of mass and mobility makes him lethal. Fabio Wardley simply can't match that level of refinement. It's night and day. Parker's at his physical peak, blending discipline with destruction. And when experts start admitting he's the better boxer, you know the tide's turning. The division's balance is shifting. and Parker's right at the center of it.
Let's see if he can find a way with me. It's different. You know, I'm not Justice Huni, I'm not Fraser Clark, I'm me, Joseph Parker. A different fighter, a different beast altogether.
Johnny Nelson nails it. This isn't about muscle, it's about mind. Andy Lee's tactical brain and Parker's discipline form a dangerous blend. Parker doesn't need to trade recklessly. He needs to dictate the rhythm to make the ring his map and Usyk his puzzle. Every step, every feint will be a question, and Usyk, the man of angles, will finally meet someone who refuses to play predictable. This is chess with gloves, not chaos.
Case. I think Andy Lee's too smart for that. I think Joseph Parker's going to go in there, try and box him smart, step around the ring, use that weight to try and hold his own.
But the conversation shifted from Parker's game plan to Usyk's choices, and whether he'd risk his legacy to avoid danger. Andy Lee's words hit deeper than they sound. If Usyk, the man built on pride, legacy, and challenge, were to step away from Parker, it wouldn't be strategy, it'd be escape. The boxing world watches how legends behave when tested. Parker's rise isn't noise, it's pressure, and pressure exposes truth. For years, Usyk chased danger. Now that danger has a name, Joseph Parker. If he looks the other way, history will remember the man who faced giants but blinked at the warrior next in line.
I think he puts Usyk in a not difficult. Like, no one can doubt Usyk's credibility or his reputation because of the fights he's had and what he's done in those fights. But if he opts to fight Dubois and vacate his title, someone who he's already beaten pretty comfortably, and decides not to fight Joseph, that doesn't look too good for him. That's all I would say. It doesn't look too good for him from the fans' point of view and from a fighter's point of view. I'm sure he'll want to defend his belts, and I'm sure he'll want to fight Joe.
Duke McKenzie gives Usyk his flowers, and rightly so. Usyk's mastery isn't brute force, it's discipline carved into movement. Every jab, every pivot is written from years of precision. But what Duke doesn't mention is Parker's silent evolution, his ability to absorb greatness, then answer it. Usyk may have perfected the formula, but Parker's rewriting it. This fight isn't about good versus great, it's about tested versus reborn. Usyk stands tall on legacy, Parker rises on hunger, and hunger in boxing rewrites hierarchies.
I'm not saying that at all. I still don't feel that even that performance is not enough to beat Alexander Usyk, because boxing's all about levels, and Usyk isn't the kind of, as I said before, Usyk's not on the slide. He's not, and he would, you know, once you set out your game plan and you get your tactics and ABCD right, as Usyk has done. That's why he's unbeaten and a two division unified 4-belt era champion. That's what separates the good from the great.
Eddie's words sound respectful, but between the lines, they echo a warning. Usyk's clock is ticking, dominance takes toll, and wars with giants drain even the greats. The hunger that once fueled him might now be fading. Parker's freshness, his reinvention, stands in contrast to Usyk's fatigue. The sport moves forward, and time, not opponents, becomes the toughest rival. For Usyk, every fight from here isn't about victory, it's about legacy maintenance. For Parker, it's about taking that throne before the king retired.
I don't see Usyk as someone who's going to go on for another 5 years fighting every challenger in the division. Like, he was the undisputed cruiserweight world champion. He's the unified world heavyweight champion.
Johnny Nelson's words cut straight to the truth. Usyk isn't chasing belts anymore. The belts chase him. He's a name carved in boxing's highest tier, a man who's earned respect beyond the sanctioning bodies. But even legends reach crossroads. The question now isn't whether Usyk can still dominate, it's whether he wants to. Parker's rise, his discipline, and his hunger to prove himself make him the storm that tests Usyk's calm. Legacy is heavy, and hunger is relentless, and when those collide, the ring doesn't lie.
But I don't believe he's retired. I don't believe he's done. I do believe he's probably one of the few fighters that's bigger than the belts.
The boxing world stands on the edge of something massive. With Usyk back, Parker's redemption arc is finally reaching its peak. The fight-canceled headlines might sound like chaos, but in truth it's strategy, pride and destiny colliding. Parker refused to waste time with Wardley because he knows where real greatness lies inside the ropes against a master like Usyk. And Usyk, he's a man of legacy, not ego, and he sees the same warrior spirit in Parker that once burned in himself. One fights to prove, the other fights to preserve. When they meet, it won't just be another bout, it'll be a battle for respect. Now it's your turn. Who do you believe walks out victorious? The king or the challenger? Drop your thoughts below.